we warmly acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land from which we are coming to you. We pay respect to elders past and present and all First Nations peoples who have told their stories on these lands for many thousands of years.
Congratulations, Kat, on being the 2021 award recipient of the Australia Council Award for Emerging and Experimental Arts.
Thank you so much.
Now tell me, when did you first kind of realise that you wanted a career as an artist?
I was very young, actually. I have a very clear memory of that. And I think, growing up, we were often surrounded by art and performance, so it was a pretty natural progression. I mean, I'm insatiably curious. So the thing that I love most is about finding new ways of thinking and create a world where something different is possible, a different way of being or sensing or communicating that they don't get in other parts of their life, and that can often bring about a change, a transformation in the way people think or relate to the world or each other.
What do you think is the true value of the arts?
I think what is the value of being human, really? I think it's an incredibly powerful communication tool that isn't necessarily about language, and that art is an expression of our humanity and vital to our health as humans, really. In the same way that the body needs to be moved through a range of motion, and if we don't, we end up in pain, essentially. The practice of experiencing art, as well as making it, is vitally important to constantly stretching our minds and moving our minds in the same way as that you need to move the muscles of the body.
And challenging sometimes, I imagine. There are opportunities that arise that you don't know how you're going to respond and take part, but you always find a way as an inventive and wonderful artist. Can you tell us a little bit about a couple of these works?
Yeah. This is somatic drifts. It's asking, what realm do human beings live within? We're not necessarily completely attached to our own bodies. The mind is quite malleable in that way, and this kind of illusory technique is also connected in neuroscience to empathy. So being able to experience the body of another triggers a level of empathy for that entity. Parallel to that, it was exploring the possibilities for using this kind of augmented reality experience in chronic pain research and as a therapeutic aid, particularly around core body pain, and reorganising the synapses in order to alleviate that, but combining it with metaphysical experience as well.
And this one?
This is an image from Insecta Delecta, which was a project commissioned by the Wired Lab, who are based out in Cootamundra. And it was a commission created to, I guess, look at alternative forms of protein in response to the World Health Organization's call for, people to take up worldwide eating insects as an alternative to things like beef protein. And so this project is, we created a live vivarium, a butterfly house for people to enter into and be with insects. It was sort of like a re-education program where people had the experience of bit by bit trying out the tasting of insects. I worked with a gastronomic chef and we created these dishes that responded to the landscape to entice people to want to eat something.
Fantastic.
And they all did.
And this one, which was a work most recently that I experienced down at Carriageworks at Liveworks.
You're in this photo. This is Medicament for Your Predicament. So this is my latest work, which is a collective political pharmacy. So participants do a workshop with me where we reflect on matters close to the heart and gradually formulate a medicine that might be a salve or even a solution to help them be compassionate for themselves and people around them in terms of thinking about that issue or matter.
It was beautiful, reflective, thoughtful and fun. I guess for emerging and experimental practice though, I mean, there are not the structures and pathways that the more traditional art forms have. And so it's a more complicated and a more freeing kind of context to work within. So, what do you think a young artist needs to hear now?
Follow your nose, because you never know where it's going to lead, and those are often the most exciting places, the things that you least expect.
Keep curious.
The most important things in hindsight to me have been doing the things that I'm most afraid of, because they're the things that are most important and have the most meaning to other people, actually.
Great advice, thank you. Congratulations, Kat Jones, on being the recipient of the Australia Council Award for Emerging and Experimental Arts in 2021.
Thank you so much, and thank you to the Australia Council, and thank you so much to the peers who nominated me as well.